Hey, welcome back to the Caribou Data Science channel on YouTube. This is an impromptu afternoon live stream. We're going to try to do a little exercise in Talend, and that's going to be we're going to try to create the customer dimension table, which is a table. A dimension table is kind of a lookup table, and well, dimension table could mean things. It could be a lookup table. And it mainly has to do with the data warehouse. It's a table that presents a view of one or more tables that can be used to generate reports with. The main point, just as a reminder, there's really two types of databases we're dealing with here. First of all, there's a transaction or just a regular database, relational database that tracks all the details that's related to a business in multiple tables. A data warehouse for our purposes, where you take two or more of those tables and you create another table, many times involving an aggregate function or certainly combining columns from multiple tables to make it easier to generate reports. It makes it easier to generate analytic reports. Okay, so we're going to try to create a customer table. This actually came from a actually came from somewhere over here. Uh, actually came from someplace over here, which I can't find. And this project involves two tables. It involves the customer table and involves a subnational table also. The primary table is the customer table, where we do a lookup with the subnational table to pull out a couple columns we want from that group, from that table also, and then using the join function Talend to create this dimension table. Okay, we come over here. Let's just find out exactly. Let's see if this will give us what we're looking for here. Right, so this is a table we're going to create. ISO country. We want to pull country from the country table. That way we get all the countries. Subnational region, world region, population, chat, GPT idea. And these are just straight, straight values here. Okay, the subnational region, I believe, and the world region, the population. Well, where do these tables actually come from? Okay, let's see something else. So let's take a look at our data first. So here's our tables. And we want to know where each one of these columns came from. So this should come from country. All right. Let's take a look at country. Okay, so we're going to try to create this up here, okay? So they did revise this a little bit, didn't they? Interesting. They did do this. So we could dimension country, got ISO. I don't know what that says there. Oh, that's interesting. That's not what I originally thought it was. Okay. We need to come back up here. Here's the original one. And country included all these things over here. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So over here, we're going to look at countries Excel. This is supposed to be a rather short and sweet kind of little project, but we'll see what happens. Of course, I will mention 9 p.m. this evening, Eastern Standard Time, U.S. time, another live stream. I'm going to return back to the evening stream. I'm going to turn back to ChatGPT data analytics projects. I'm going to use a couple of the Toddy Tuesday data sets from the last 2 weeks to do, and then use ChatGPT in order to do some analysis of those. Okay. But I'll try to keep the afternoon sessions mainly have to do with my learning curve in terms of Talend data acquisition software, Open Studio. Okay, so interesting. You don't want region, subnational region. Population, HDI and GDP also come from so ISO comes from subnational. country and world. So okay. So this gives us so this gives us our columns and the tables, okay? So let's come over here now. Fire up our open Talend. You know, interesting thing about the open Talend, it's crazy. It's you know I spent the last week and a half trying to help this young lady from Tunisia with a project, which part of this, which actually this dimension table comes out of that project. It's one of the parts of the project that was supposed to be done. What's interesting is I got contacted about a data analytics position, supposed data analytics position, on LinkedIn from a recruiter. Okay. And she said, "Oh, do you by chance know Talend?" I mean, you talk about a crazy coincidence, right? What's the chances of me being contacted a recruiter about Talend, which I started looking at like a week ago? Okay, I put up our dimension tables. Now the thing I'm still not quite sure about, does lookup mean that's the table? In our case, does lookup mean the country table? Or does lookup mean the subnational table? See, that's what I'm not quite clear about. But we'll find out. We'll leave the there's an option to do an inner join. We'll leave that box unchecked, and we'll just try it. Try it a couple of different ways and see exactly what happens. Okay. Let's just expand this a little bit. And of course, the ultimate goal is to take this and send it to a SQL server, to a MySQL database. Because we're creating our data warehouse, if you will, in our in our in our in our database in our. Okay. We already got all of our connections set up, as you'll see in a moment. So we got three database connections set up. We got two CSV connections set up. We're going to use a subnational. And we got countries set up. So we're going to use the countries and the nationals. Okay, we'll come up here now, open up our job. You know what? Then let's just start completely over. Okay, so we're going to need the countries table. And check that over here. Okay, good. And let's go and put our join in here. And let's move this one over here. So that's the main one. And let's move this down a little bit. Okay. Now we'll come back over here. Okay. There. Actually, let's come over here. Let's move this whole thing back over here. No need of a lot of space there. There. So let's come back over here now. You know, we can close this now. And we can close this. And let's go over here. So we got over here. Schema. Maybe what we want to do is over here. Let's drop all these. We're going to leave region, even it doesn't ask for region, we'll leave it in there and come over here. So here's our join table. Got ISO. You want, right? Okay. That gives us our join. We'll come back over here. Now, in theory, we have to come and do our join now, right? Let's see. Country and country. Okay. This is our lookup. We're not going to do an inner join because what we ideally want to we want to turn all the countries, okay, and only the matching ones in subnational. So we should be able to come over here now. Interesting. What does this do? And in theory, we should be able to do right. So, sync columns. Okay, so will this actually run now? That's the question. Will this actually run? And this is basically what his looked like at this point. So the question is, will it actually run? I'm mostly surprised when it runs the first time. Oh man, MPI net. We didn't use MPI National. That's kind of interesting. Well, let's scroll down and see if we got anything right. So why did Sub-Saharan Africa get an error? That's what I don't understand. Let's do this. But I'm not using NP in National Road. That's what I don't understand. See, it's reading that as a numeric exception. That would suggest that it's not reading uh, the correct thing. Let's see, clear component. Okay. Now, because I'm sending this out to an Excel file, right? That means the only thing that's going to be displayed is the yeah. See, I don't understand why we're not getting why we're getting errors on some of the columns. That doesn't make any sense. But we are getting some Excel output. That's the most important thing. So because we're sending all the output to the Excel file, all we're going to see on screen is just the error messages. And a bit of confusion on my part to why we're getting error messages for in the first place. So we'll see how many rows we get here. You know, we could just do a test. We can simply look at the country codes and the ISOs only, okay? See, you know what the problem probably is with countries? There's the one file, because it's a CSV file. One 189 rows. That looks pretty good, actually. Let's convert this over to, let's save this. Convert this over, Control A, Control T. There. Well, it sort of worked, but not exactly. Because none of the ISO codes showed up. and there's no Spain. There's Spain. So how come the only ones that are showing up are the ones without the code? Okay, well, you know, that's not bad for a first effort, okay? Obviously, we need to do a little more tinkering here and there along the way, but let's just see what we can do up here now. Okay, let's get rid of this. Get rid of this. Let's just, as we like to do, let's just start over, okay? Subnationals. Let's do a filter column. So we're only interested in country. All right. There we go. All right. Actually, let's come over here. Okay. Hmm. And let's just come back up here for rejects. There we go. All right. Let's see what happens here now. Clear and run. So we went from sort of working to not working. I wonder what the trouble is. Maybe it'll tell us. Let's see. I'll be right back. I'm going to give me little bit of a snack here. Okay. So we're going to test the input first. Okay. We're going to test the we're going to test the filter function first of all. So we should be returning 2 rows. Why are we getting the row value? Is there a problem with the national? See, it's a couldn't part. We're not looking for that. That's the trouble. We're not looking for that column. Because the error message is what? We're filtering here, right? Okay, so what it looks like is that there was the problem with the country names inside of country names in the CSV file. Okay, good. Let's go over here now. This is an Excel file, so we shouldn't have the problem, should we? Take a look at schema. All that stuff, all that goodness is there. Filter columns. Of course, do this. So we only want country, right? So let's do a log then. Okay, very good. Let's see. Let's try some. Why don't we go over here? Region, population, HDI, and per capita. So let's see what happens now. So the two pieces work individually. All right. Okay. Oh, thanks so much. I appreciate your friend. I'm using them to build my knowledge in Excel. Thank you so much for your kind words. I appreciate it. Of course, be sure to click on that bell icon to be notified whenever I go live, okay? What I'm working on here is what's called Talend. Talend is what's called a data, what's it called? A data acquisition, data integration program. It's designed to be part of a data warehouse environment where you take data from multiple different data sources. You know, it could be the web, it could be, CSV, it could be Excel, it could be imported from the database. You take them and then you create what's called dimension tables in a data warehouse. A dimension table just simply means it's a almost always it's a table that involves aggregate functions, where it combines multiple tables into a way that makes it easier for for reporting to be done by it. As you can see, the individual pieces actually worked here. That's kind of strange. I'm not sure. I got a little bug here. It looks like I'm yeah. So what I was trying to do is what I'm going to do. I'm going to create what's called a dimension table for countries, and they'll combine two different tables: a country table and a subnational country table. And basically from the subnational table, we're gonna pull like sub-region and world region. And then from the countries table, we're gonna pull and also the ISO codes also come from some national table. From the country table, we're gonna pull the country code and the region. We're gonna pull the country code, the region, the population, HDA, and GDP for a particular country. Now it's got a kind of little flaky thing there for some reason or other. Oh, by the way, did I mention I'm going to be streaming again tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time? That's U.S. East Coast time. It's already in use. Cancel. Okay. So let's start back over here again. What got me interested in Talend was a young lady from, oh, stop it. Choose the workspace. It was a young lady from Tunisia. Had a project for work, or not for work, for school. And unfortunately, I think she really waited too long to get started, but that's a separate issue. And so this is data came from her project, and it hit her, and it was a Talend project. So I said, what the heck? I'll learn Talend in order to help her. So I started, watching videos, and I went to Udemy, and I took a course on Udemy. It has to do with I took a $15 course on Udemy that has to do with Talend. Okay. Now I'm mainly an SQL or Python type of data analytic guy. I also mentioned that here it is right here. Here you go. Data integration ETL with Talend Open Studio 0 to Hero. Like I said, I got it on sale for like $15 or something like that. I'll mention that to you right now. If you're looking at a course on Udemy, never pay full price, because if you literally wait a week or two, it'll go back on sale. Okay. So there it is. There's the course. Okay. It's quite a good course, actually. All right. It's quite a good course. Let's come back over here now. So which one? We're working on dimension tables. Workspace is already in use. That's kind of interesting. That's kind of interesting. Let's see something. What can we do? Because I don't actually see anything working. Let's see. Well, let's just start from scratch. Maybe over here. Start. Okay, so that's what. So what I have to do here, unfortunately, my friend, is I got to restart my computer in order to restart Talend. Okay, so at one point I was really close to getting it to work. Then I said, well, maybe I need to make some changes. And of course, I broke the problem. So thanks again so much for stopping by. I'll be back up in like 15 minutes. If you want to come back at that time, just check in and see how I make out for the day. Okay? Because as you can see, there's no projects. Talend isn't running. All right. So again, folks, I got to end this session right here because it doesn't work. Okay. I don't know how to get it to close a workspace when Talend isn't running. That's kind of strange. I wonder if there's a temp file someplace. I wonder if there's a temp file. What happens if we delete this? Because someplace there's something telling it is there anything in here? And worst comes to worst, right? We'll have to start the project over again. Oh, there we go. That's interesting. Huh. That's interesting also. How in the heck did that get down in there? Let's delete that. Dimension tables. You know, somewhere there's probably a lock file or something with. You know, sometimes I find it's best to just completely start over. That way you really get the basics down right. Okay, so you see, once again, we're still getting a problem here. So somewhere out there, there's a this is probably a mistake. We'll see what happens. Unfortunately, I'm about to restart my system here, Musadik. Thanks again for the kind words and stopping by. I hope I see you again on a new stream shortly, okay? Okay, folks, as I said, I'm going to end this session right here. I'm going to leave you hang. It's kind of a cliffhanger session. As you remember, we got really close to getting it work the first once. Then I decided to make some tweaks and change a little bit. Now it's broke, and now I can't even start. Now I can't even start Talend because it thinks the session's still open. So I'm going to finish this stream up for now. We'll catch you again 9 p.m. Eastern time this evening. We'll probably won't be working on Talend to see. I think Taled's going to be my afternoon live stream. The evening's going to be back to ChatGPT and Tidy Tuesday.